to the Philippines and to the whole world listening or watching our live podcast. It's your boy, Paul Evangelista, together with
Monica Bachansila.
And Aaron Francisco.
bringing you entertaining information that will surely nourish your knowledge.
As an individual,
Citizen,
And especially as a Filipino. Because,
one knows.
the ways of Filipinos.
so today, Kawan knows, we are going into full depth about the state of the language in the Philippines. Because nowadays, we are not only considered as bilingual, yet Filipino knows various dialects and languages.
I highly agree to that. To be honest, I'm so relatable to the topic because I'm interested to K-dramas, which inspires me to learn and understand its language.
That is because the youth today is inclined to trends, especially in language. There's also popular language that appears to be well liked in the Philippine setting. But before we go into that, what do you think is the essence of language nowadays?
To say language nowadays is not only for understanding, although it should be the top priority. Because what makes the language popular today is in reliance to its conveniency to relate it to others, such as the use of emoticon which are very used. How about you, Monica?
Well, for me, I believe the factor that determines the popular culture nowadays, aside from conveniency, is the personality or icon that use the specific language. So, for instance, Vice Ganda was popular celebrity in LGBTQ plus community, which gay lingo has become well used that is not exclusive only for gays but also for all genders. So, how about you, Francisco?
I would like to agree to that. Also, the usage of emoticons and shortening of words widely used, especially in messaging, to others to conveniently send the information.
Basically, I accept all your insight, guys. And actually, we have collected some topics about the popular language and the PH. So first is WordSpeak. We all know that LGBTQ plus population is growing rapidly as their voices and images becomes widely seen. For instance, Vice Ganda and Bex Battalion, who are the big celebrity and bloggers who has a impactful image for LGBTQ plus. Now, the reason why we are talking about this is because especially gay is because of gay lingo. I know you guys know the word charot, echos, gorana, which are part of WordSpeak. Hence, these words are very popular in today's messaging. Also, these words are not inclusive only to gay peoples because even if you are straight and you're using this kind of words, it doesn't make you feel that you are gay already. In my experiences, these gay lingos become popular because it seems to me like if you are using these words, you're making your tone in a friendly manner. Though WordSpeak acquired such fame and appreciation, it still has its negative sides and certain disadvantages that make it vulnerable to criticism and misconceptions. While the use of WordSpeak can be helpful to the language learners in improving their creative minds.
So guys, the inversion is intention to change of the entire spelling or syllable placement of a word, but the meaning is still the same. So guys, here are the some of the example of how Isko Moreno used the inversion language. People called him Yorme because he is a mayor in Manila. Yorme is an inversion language of mayor. So another inversion language of Isko Moreno is the etneb word. When you read it backward, it is 20. So the impact of this language for me is so cool. If I use this language, you can easily to understand. The disadvantage of this is not all can understand this language, especially the all. And the advantage of this language is you can use to not understand of other people you're saying.
Okay, next, text speak, which means the logical abbreviation of a word or phrase. Well, for me, it has both positive and negative impacts on us. Positively, it lessens the time to type our messages, and if the words were shortened, it can now quickly send the message for just a few seconds. However, it affects literacy as the spelling of the words used and the abbreviations might forget how to spell out. For example, is OTW or on the way is an abbreviation that is only applicable for informal communication. Even though it looks nice and beneficial, it is not always appropriate to use. For instance, it affects the individual's progress related to formal and proper writing. In my view, I think every one of us must put into practice the proper writing or spelling of a word for us to nurture our knowledge in English and formal writing. All in all, in my view, this is part of the change brought by the globalization, and in relation to text speak, I think we can still apply it, but in certain situations, such as if you're talking to your friend. However, for formal communication, we still need to complete the phrase or words that we want to say to avoid confusion and misunderstanding.
So, last but not the least is the visual language. So, visual language use emoji when they want to express something. For example, a ring in church. Emoji means wedding. So, some people use it as a form of games. They will use emoji to guess things or scenario. How about you, Paul? What's your reaction inside to visual language? Are they helpful?
For me, it's a two-way. I would say it has advantages and minimal lapses. Emojis are vital for communication or communicating emotion, which words cannot convey. However, they have a little relevance in the academic world or in the situations when objective voice is required. How about you, Miss Monica? What's your insight?
Well, I'd like to agree to that. As an addition, the emoji itself speaks for a specific message that is usually used on social media. Our way of telling a message is now changing from spoken language to emoji or pictorial representations. For me, visual language is much better for entertainment and advertisement purposes to speak out about the brand, but not advisable for formal communication because it might cause a lack of clarity.
Okay, so today we understand, guys, that languages evolve in the process of evolution. New words are formed and others die. There are words that eventually find their way to the mainstream through popular us.
And we learn how one knows that it continues to progress as the society takes a step forward for improvement. Moreover, many languages are being formed and created for different purposes.
Yes, it is true that creativity is an important factor in any forms of communication, but we should first value the level of delivery we want to imply to our receivers so that, guys, we can avoid misconception and misunderstanding.
To wrap it up, again, it's your boy, Paul Evangelista.
I am Aaron Francisco.
And Monica Bachansila.
Bringing you entertaining information that will surely nourish your knowledge.
As an individual,
Citizen,
And especially as a Filipino. Because,
one knows.
the ways of Filipinos.
thank you and good night.